Hello, my name is Tara Well. I'm a motivational psychologist and a professor at Barnard College. I have been studying motivation, and my interest has always been in how people's motives and intentions really influence how they see the world around them. I've also had a long-time interest and have been studying alternative forms of health and healing, and as well as yoga and meditation for many years. And the current work I'm doing on mere meditation really brings those two worlds together. For many years, they were sort of separate, where I had an interest in having a yoga practice and health and healing separate from my academic interests and my research interests. So it's really wonderful to finally be able to find a way to integrate those two worlds with the work on mere meditation, which involves a set of research studies, a daily practice for people to do, and a set of workshops and ways in which I'm building community around people who are doing mere meditation as a daily practice. One of the things that we discover when we first look in the mirror is we tend to treat ourselves as objects, okay? We're just basically fixing our appearance so we can look presentable to go out in the world. And we actually see a lot of images in the media that treat people as objects as well. And I'm not talking just about sex objectification of women. I'm talking about just walking down the street and not feeling other people's humanity and not having our humanity reflected back to us. So I live in New York City. I'm experiencing objectifying and being objectified by people all day long. We walk on a busy street. We don't feel people's humanity. We see them as people who are in the way. They're blocking my view. They're preventing me from making it faster down the stairs so I can catch the subway. So we're all being subjected to that sense that people don't really see us. They don't really get us. They're not really concerned about our feelings. And we're also doing that to other people on a daily basis. Through mere meditation, looking at oneself or gazing at oneself, I tend not to use the word staring, because staring implies that there's kind of like a harshness to the way people are looking. And in fact, when people first begin looking at themselves, they oftentimes have a very harsh, piercing look, because oftentimes we tend to be very critical. We're kind of scanning ourselves, looking for that thing that's wrong that needs to be fixed, or making sure everything's okay, making sure we're not leaving ourselves open to any kind of criticism before we go out into the world. But over the course of time, over the course of sitting with oneself for 10 minutes, gazing, letting one's impressions sort of wash over your eyes instead of going and examining oneself, actually changes people's perceptions. People begin to realize how cruel they are to themselves, just downright cruel in terms of the kinds of criticisms they have about their appearance, and the harshness with which they evaluate themselves and look at themselves. So I oftentimes encourage people to shift their focus from being the person who's criticizing the person in the mirror to being the person who's receiving that criticism. Look into the eyes of the person who's receiving the criticism. And oftentimes that's when the first shift really occurs, where people realize that, that in a number of ways they may think that they have high self-esteem and feel great about themselves, but there are ways that they're really not on their own side. There are ways that they're really very unkind to themselves. So it's a very, very practical tool that one can use and on a daily basis that makes a huge difference in quality of one's own life and the quality of life of those around you.